Hello guys. Hi. How are you? I'm just gonna check so you can hear me alright. It seems you do. We had some problems with the microphone last week, so let me know if there's any problems still. And I also lowered the music volume somewhat. I can maybe raise it a little bit. Hi you guys. Okay, so it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday morning, and so for you fodders and people who are watching, I can't really see how many there are, but welcome. How are you doing? This little fella here is our art reference today. Can you see him? Oh, hi, Goatee. How are you, my friend? The little fella. I gave him to Bumpers on our anniversary many years back, and I sued. Oh, you can't tell, can you? But it is the Eight of Hearts that I put in his little cap, in his little hat, and I gave this to Bumpus a couple of years back, or many years back now, and the Eight of Hearts for me means, well, the eight is eternity and heart for love, right? So it was about eternal love. Isn't he cute? So here's a little art reference today because I want to commit to a project. And knowing me, I'll start off with small things. And this is gonna take a while to do, but I want to create our own teddy bear with all I know. I don't know anything about proportions. I know he's gonna be in glass beads, and I know I want him to have blue socks and a pair of mittens. That's all I know. So we'll see what happens. So here's a little reference. And then of course we're gonna do energy reading, healing, and just enjoy this beautiful day together. Can you tell, by the way, behind me, I've gotten to borrow a proper massage bench. Look. So I can now do my healing proper. It's wonderful. And I went on YouTube a couple of days back and I saw this cards, this tarot video with a general reading, and I just felt, oh, I want to click this. And so I did, and the reading was about our spiritual abilities, so to speak. And they said that the people resonating with the deck that I chose, because you had different options, like it's very common with general card readings, especially on YouTube. And so the deck I chose, they said that it would benefit you, I feel, to go collect your wand and to work with the wand. And it was quite interesting, but I just felt that really, I really resonated with that. So it was raining and it was nighttime, and I went out in the dark and I collected, hang on, I got this little branch here. And I brought it in, and then I brought it to the office yesterday, and I had a healing session yesterday where I tried it out, and it was absolutely beautiful. I got to work in a way that I've never done before, in where with the client's guides and my own, we got in, we looked at the body. This I'm a little off today with my thinking, sorry. We looked at the energy chart and the body, and then we saw these knots with emotion. And the emotion are those emotions that you set aside, that you don't want to deal with. We saw the knots created by them, and also therefore these when you have an emotion, not being able to say its words, you know, to not have the words come out, to not give proper attention to each and every emotion because they deserve it, they're part of it, just as the negative, what we see as negative emotion is just as part of us as what we see as positive. And they're there for a reason. And I could say that these emotional clusters or clusters of emotion that had been disregarded, we went and pulled them out as blobs out from the body, using this little brush. And we pulled them out from the body, and we then, when it was in front of us, when we could, you know, see the energy cluster, we would then provide healing to it. So to put some crystal light in, and, you know, to give that attention that it deserves. And then when it was sparkly, and sometimes we would, you know, activate it a little, tickle it a little to activate this joy, this bubble of joys. Yeah? And then when it was sparkle, it took, it was all individual clusters, and they all took different amounts of time to, you know, to really pull this slowly, as it is a process, but pull some crystal light in. And then when you could see them sparkle, we went and we got them back into the body again. And it was so, 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 so beautiful. Sorry, can you hear that? That is actually my phone. Hang on. I usually always... Oh, you like this? I gotta find it. Hang on. Where is it? There it is. I always put this on flight mode. This is the phone I never use. And I always put it on flight mode, but today I forgot. I'm sorry. But you like the... Could you hear the ringtone? Ring, 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 ding, 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 ding. Oh, Clipper Agent. Hi, how are you, my friend? Oh dear. Oh, it's going well today. Oh, don't worry, nothing happened. Okay. It was just my bag, don't worry. So, I'm sorry, there's gonna be less noise now, I promise. So I went in and we met, you know, these energy clusters with these hidden emotions, and just gave to them the attention that they deserve, you know. And they went back into the body, and it was so beautiful. And then I said to the client that we'll be working approximately 45 minutes, somewhere around there. And they fell asleep, because some do. And then my guides told me, yes, we do this and this process with the branch, with the wand. And we do this. And then now, next step is for them to wake up. And just as they said, as I did what they told me I would do in order to have them feel comfortable waking up, they woke up. And they looked at me. And, you know, we have had healing sessions going on for months now, me and this client. And they just looked at me, and I said, this was a good one. This was a good session, wasn't it? And they just looked at me and said, this was wonderful. And so after that, they came to let me borrow this one, this little actual proper massage bench. They took it brought it to the office after the session and said, I want you to have some proper tools. So, boy, oh boy, what a day. Exy, if you want an energy reading, you can put exclamation mark joy in chat, and you will be added to the queue. I think we will do some beautiful energy readings and healing today, but I think I want to start off quite easy, quite calm, with some crafting, and then just in maybe 15 minutes or so, 15 minutes, maybe even 10, we'll see how it goes. I will definitely go into energy reading. Okay, so if you want to join, just put exclamation mark joy in chats, and you be added. But it was so beautiful working. I never worked with, with a wand or this branch before, so it was absolutely wonderful. Maybe I'll use it today in the healing, eh? It was so beautiful. Ooh, no, it wants to say, okay, I'll put it right here. I'll have it right here. Then yeah, so I want to start off with some beautiful crafting. But as I said, Bempus has now worked a lot also on the queuing system, so it works perfectly. It works really well. So if you want to join, put, like I said, !joy in chats, and you'll be added to the queue. And if you prefer me to have a consultation with you, just you and I, then you can send me an email and I book you in. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I have to check something. Hang on, guys. Yeah, you are your first in line, Exie, because we have a test one here, and then we have someone I'm not sure if it's here, but we'll see. So I maybe go into it in a couple of minutes, if that is fine, if that's okay. Okay. Oh, we can actually start now. Now I feel like starting now, actually. I just have to check. Frederick C137. Are you here, my friend? Frederick C137. Are you here? And I will just see, because you are first in line. If you are here. Frederick? I'm gonna prepare for some beautiful healing. He's still here, this little fella, don't worry. I just gonna prepare for some healing and some energy readings. We'll see, there'll probably be more healing today than readings, but we'll see what happens. I always do what my guides think is best, and I follow their guidance as they are guides, right? Okay. Frederick does not seem to be here. Well then, Exie, then you are up. You're first in line. Hang on. Let me fix it. Oh. And so professional, guys. Boop. Oh, Packet Cries. Hi. How are you? You can call me Sexy. Or Sexy. You want me to call you Sexy? Is that it? Or Sexy? Sexy? Oh, I'm fine, my friend. We're gonna go into this very gently, gentle today. I think I want. Hang on. Tell me, guys, if you can hear, scramble about in the microphone, because I can maybe feel it. That might be the case. Okay. So, Exie, do you want to be called Exie, Sexy, or Sexy? Okay. Sexy. Okay. Okay. See how we'll do this today. Yeah, I want to use water. Okay. Like a Christ, you can always join the queue and we'll see from there. So let's see what we're gonna do here. Oh, Sarah3, thank you so much for following. How are you, my friend? I can tell that this reading is gonna be a gentle one, a very light one, because it is what is. It is needed to tread carefully here with you, sexy. So I'm just gonna go into it very slowly. We want to talk about the reason for you getting a reading, because it feels like you are. It feels like you're just, you just want to try it out. You just want to see what it is and what I do and how it works for me. So it feels like you're going into this trying to see, how it just works or how it does work. And I do feel some skepticism from you. Not skepticism in not about spirituality in this, but rather, it just feels a little bit hesitant, but also very warm and very open. And I think this is just, you just want to see how it goes, you just want to try it out. Because I can't feel. Do you have a specific question for me, actually, sexy? I would love for you to put it in chat, if so. But it does feel like you are more interested in just trying it out, just see what comes through and what happens. I do have Ratchet here, who tells me that she is my guide, one of my guides, who come forth when someone is a little bit mistrusting, or when someone tries to have me proof instead of having me work, if that makes any sense. And I'm not saying that this is who you are, sexy, but I do feel like I will tread carefully in this instance, because I do feel the energy being somewhat, I don't want to use the word shifty because I don't want to use it in a negative way, but it is somewhat, want to try it out rather than, it's more going into this wanting to try it out than trying to, or wanting relief, or even expecting relief. So I hope that as we go through this reading, I hope that it can nevertheless provide some peace and some tranquility. But I can already now feel that we will tread very carefully in how you look at things. Okay? Because it does feel like you are, I want to be a little bit careful, because it does feel like you want to try me, rather than ask me, if that makes any sense. But you're also a very gentle soul, so we'll see what happens, okay? And I do my best, my friends. But it could be that it just goes into a very light reading, a very simple, and maybe some light healing, but we'll see. How do I get a girl to love me, you wonder? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find your frequency, my friend. I wonder if I'm gonna use the branch today or not. Oh yeah, I am. A little bit. Okay, so XC. There you are. Okay. It's gonna be some tough love today, my friend, because indeed the energy is, rather you just want to try. And you're also very stuck. And I understand this is why you want to not challenge me, but you do, because you do have this very light, very calm, very beautiful energy to you, and you're open, but you also have this challenger mod installed, if that makes any sense. And I'm saying this with love and respect, and I do not wish to hurt you with it, but I do see it coming through, and I can see this being a way for you to protect yourself, because I feel a very stagnant energy in where you are in your life. I do feel like things are moving fast around you, but it feels like you are very into yourself. You feel very stagnant, and I feel there's a very, and let me know if I cross over a line here and you would not want me to talk about it online, live, let me know. But it does feel like you're very stagnant within yourself, and I do feel a very strong fear of, I feel being afraid of not being accepted, as we all can resonate with. But I feel you're putting up this facade that many of us do in order to feel more, to be more approved. And I want to tell you that you don't have to do this. It feels like there have been people trying to, have you go into different stages in your life, having to do different things with expectations on you. And I feel you feel so much expectation on yourself that you feel you have to disclose yourself from it, you have to distance yourself from it, and you have to, step away from it, and do so in a very harsh manner sometimes, because it's just how you learn to survive. And with love, I can see that if this resonates with you, I can see through it, and you deserve more than to run from yourself. Because there's two sides, or there are many sides, but I see two sides of you right now in your energy chart. I see this open, joyful, and genuinely interested person. And I also see this very shy and insecure child. And it's okay to be both, because you are, and I know it's a cliche, but you are beautiful as you are. But I want you to be able to be who you are and not who you're trying to be. Because when it comes down to it, who you are trying to be is still who you are, but you are doing it the long way around, which is not wrong, but I'm telling you that also you coming here is part of this journey, because you don't have to put up these facades, because I feel you do. I feel you go into a source where you can find more energy when you're really exhausted, or when you are there's loads of fear coming through, and being afraid of being wrong, or not being wrong, but not being respected, and not even respected, but not being safe. And it feels like how you want to be safe is by sometimes pushing other people away from you. And I know many people can resonate with this. I want to talk to you about cooking. I want to talk to you about being in the kitchen, because it feels something here is about chefs. I wonder if it is that someone have expectations on you in this, or that you have a special or a secret interest. They're not letting me see on what foot it stands, but they do want to bring up the kitchen and the chef. And the thing is, because it feels like you see yourself as being so stagnant and not being able to be you and not being able to provide with anything special. And the thing is, you are so special, just you. You have so much inside of you, but many of us do experience this, that we don't know how to have it come out. But you have so much. What I feel is that if we let ourselves, at least for ourselves, see who we are, to instead of trying to push people away, maybe if we take our time, we take our specific spots of time where we can sit by ourselves and meet ourselves for who we really are, and not being afraid of ourselves, because there's no reason for us to be. If we can do that, and if we can take that time, we can then also start to listen to the voices inside of our emotions, of our desires, of our hobbies, of who we are. Because it feels you are creating so much, and I know many people watching now can resonate with this, that we try to put up a facade of who we are, and we try to find ourselves by not showing our faces. But if we go in and we recognize that all we ever are, all we ever is, we're just ourselves. And it doesn't matter how many faces we try to hold up, deep inside will always be the same. So why the energy is stagnant is because these feelings of being afraid, of being little, and of being in need of just someone is okay. And if we can see that, if we can meet that within ourselves, we'll spark these lights onto starting our projects, onto going into doing our hobbies that we really want to, not that we are expected to do, but what we really want to do, where our heart's at. And then, as the question were, how do you get a girl to love me? By loving yourself, and in that, in the journey, accepting yourself. And you know what? Even if you feel you can't do this, that's okay, because you already are. Just in the way of wanting change, you are seeing yourself, and that is a start. So am I trying to put new expectations on you, onto you now? In, sit in a corner and think of yourself. No, I know you want to be out there. I know you want to be around people. So be, but take those little times we all need to also be with you, so you know who is out there to meet others. How will people know who you are if you don't know who you are to present to them? Hi, Chicold. Good morning. Do you understand what I'm talking about, sexy? Yes, you being here now, and all those strange, emotions coming up is a part of your journey, and you feeling like you can't really, take it in, it's okay. And I don't want to put any more pressure on you. I want to say that I am here for you. And you saying that this is too general of a reading, we're so alike, us people. But I do want to talk about the kitchen with you. I do want to talk about chef. Is this something that you resonate with? Because that is coming up over and over. They're being very silent in this reading and being very general, because that is the best way to reach you right now. And because what you're dealing with, so many others too. You're far from alone. And also, no matter what you do, you're going the right way, the right direction. But I'm just saying that it will be with a light heart and a light mind if you also allow yourself to be with. So these books, writing, I see this calligraphy. I see that on you as well. And I understand that you're not, open to this reading in a way, but I hope that it can still provide you some peace and tranquility when you are ready for it. So hopefully it will come to you when you feel you can listen to it. But Ratchet has been here all along, and she comes in when someone is, like I said, trying me rather than asking me. And that is fine, because we're all human, and to be skeptical is very important. But you also are very open. So I hope that this will bring you some peace and some tranquility when you are ready for it. And I am here. There's not much more I can do without digging, because your energy frequency is not open to it or for it. And I can of course send you some healing if you would want to. But when you're ready to be respectful to yourself, and in that also to me, you will also be able to gain respect from others. Okay? So all I can do as a fellow human being is to wish you luck and joy and happiness. And when you are ready for it, I hope that this also will bring you some tranquility and peace. And bubbles of joy. Sparkles of joy, of course. Okay. Thank you for following, Symbols. How are you doing? Welcome to the community. How are you? Bubbles. Yeah, we got him, guys. Let's see. We got him. Hang on. And here they are. Boom. So that is really what I can give you today, Sexy. I will send you a very peaceful healing just to be there with you when you are ready for it. If that would be okay? Mm. With you, because I talked so much about kitchen and chefs. This also wants to be in the shape of a chef's hat. Is it called that? A chef's hat? Okay, let's bring it up. A chef's hat with a little red cottage printed on it. Okay. And it's okay if you feel me being mad or crazy. It's just energy, my friend. Here we go. It's my way of doing what I love. But a little chef's hat with a little red cottage on it. Oh, and a stray dog is coming in. Let's just build it up. Having a hard time finding energy today with you, Sexy. There, okay. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Sending it to you with love and bubbles of joy when you're ready for it, my friend. Just gonna and there it is received. Beautiful. Beautiful, my friend. I'm sorry it's not much more than I can do for you today, but I wish you all the best, truly. And harsh love, tough love, but when you start respecting others, or when you start respect yourself and respecting others, you also gain respect. But it's a tough world out there, and we find different ways to survive, no matter it being physical or emotional. So I understand. But thank you for letting me give you that. Oh, I gave you that. Okay. Like I said, I know, especially when Ratchet is here, I know that the reading will probably be seen as being very general. Oh, this wants to stay there. Okay, hang on. Oh, yes, putting this back. And why it can be seen as very general sometimes is because we are so similar as human beings. And what I hope to be able to show with what we do is truly how similar we are, but also different. It's like I said before. Oh, I'm putting a little reference teddy back. It's like with what I've said before, that we are our emotional journey, albeit that the situational one might differ a lot, but our emotional journeys, as I've experienced, is very similar, only in reaction to different situations and different objects, different individual energies or different energy classes, different things, but same emotion or very similar emotion. And by doing this beautiful work that I do, I've come to realize that it's no longer, there's ever been no reason, but because I'm also very human, because I am human, I want to prove what I do, you know, but I find that there's no reason for it. There's never been, and I definitely see no reason for it anymore. Because when it works for the people it works for. And I'm just so privileged being able to give that, provide that peace and tranquility and joy, no matter what it is. You know, you skeptics watching, I am as open to it being spiritual beings and angels as I am being, you know, our imagination, illusions, our way, our brain of working things out for us, or somewhere in between. I can see why my brain would create this world, you know, in order for me to feel accepted. And I can see how other beings or other types, forms of energy, all the same, and the libraries and all, I can see that be working. But I am in the middle, and all I know is that I am just so grateful being able to do what I do, because we see it to be working. And if it is working, it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it seems to help people. And it does. Thank you, Itchy Cold, and Oxo Sexy. I think I said Oxo. That's in Swedish. Sorry. Also. Thank you. So, I'm just gonna check the queue. Packet rice, my friend. Let's see what you. I'm taking these back to the. Oh, sorry. Oh, but you like the candle, I can see. So we're gonna use that. Oh. And I'm just gonna do a check, Packet Rice, if there's anything that I can share with you, because you know where we stand in. Oh, this is dead. Okay, I'm gonna take that take the one from the table. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna take this one. Okay. Woo. So I'm just gonna do a check and see for you, okay? If there's anything that we can do today, or if it is better that you stay away from it, as we've spoken about before. You've been rather good at not taking energy readings. I do feel, however, that you've been asking for advice, although it not being readings so much, but it does feel like you've asked for some advice, and that is beautiful that we can do. So, but it does feel like yeah, you're doing better with the energy readings. Well, I mean, with not taking them, but also asking advice. You have these tendencies of going to people usually doing energy readings, but trying masking it as not being an energy reading. You know? But this feels also like general advice, you know? You have been talking with someone, yeah. I feel like I want to talk a lot about Kalina here. but I think she represents energy readers for me in our relationship. You had a couple of readings, yeah. I feel you masked them also a bit. I know you've done with me when you ask for advice from energy readers, but say that it's not really an energy reading. You just want some advice or just someone to talk to, but you're still looking for that specific advice. Although as of now, you really started to open yourself up, and you're on your way of also listening. You always listen to the energy readings, but you're also starting to take it in more, but also less. So it feels like it feels like you found this balance, or starting to find this balance, where one information can come to you and you feel, right, yeah, I'm listening to that. And you also listen to others, but it feels like some information you use in a way of you trusting your own intuition and your own feelings. And I feel like you're really moving forwards with trusting yourself in this. I feel. Oh, sorry, by the way. There. I forgot. It's not automatic. Sorry. Yeah. In regards to your karmic system, it feels like you're really moving on. And it feels it's important for you to hear that, because I feel you are hitting yourself, you're punching yourself. And I feel it's important for you to hear that I can see you. We see you. And we see when you do hiccups and go to have readings, but we also see you in this great, beautiful journey that you're on, and all those steps that you do. We see you fight for this, and we believe in you. And I think maybe it would be good for you to write down each time you go for a reading. Usually I say that we should write down each time we manage not to get a reading. If we're handling this as an addiction, then we should write down every time we do not do it, so that it comes natural to us to write it down, to have it written, so that it comes natural in just being. But with you right now, I feel it would you would benefit from actually writing down each time you do get a reading or advice, when you feel, I want someone else's perspective, but in a way that you feel, I'm waiting till someone said something to me about this. Each time that happens, each time you feel stagnant in your movement because of waiting for someone else's response in your advancement, I want you to write it down, to see just black and white how many times you really do it. Oh, Obey Caitlin, thank you for the raid. Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome. We're doing some light energy readings and healing, and we are gonna move on into crafting also. We're gonna craft ourselves a little teddy bear in pearl beads, and this is our reference. Woo! But right now we're doing energy readings, and I'm doing a little shake-up right now. I think that would be good for you, Pegasus, to put it down and to see black and white how much you actually look for others in order to look for yourself. I think that would be a good idea, maybe. And then I was just thinking, I was checking with my guides, and I was thinking maybe then you should cross off each time you do not get a reading, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's better to keep this list as a reminder and to see black on white that yes, my friend, you do have an addiction, and with that you can also help others because you're really moving out from it now, and that is absolutely beautiful. Maybe this is something you can talk about on your podcast as well. Would you enjoy it as a topic? Because I think this is something that we don't talk about, and I think it's so important to do, but it's a taboo subject both for energy readers and clients, right? But I think it's super important. And I think what they're telling me now is that when you start to believe in your own intuition in this, you can also find your own methods of keeping yourself on track, keeping yourself in check, right? And they are telling me that that's your challenge. To really meet your own obsession, your own addiction, and see the humanity in it, the human aspects, and why it's there. I want you to meet the obsession. I want you to write a letter to it. I want you to put something. Yeah, you know what? I want you to take something that you've as a reference point to energy workers, so and energy readings. So this stone, perhaps, or a little branch that they picked up from the forest, from the woods, that I asked you to. If you take that and you place it in front of you, and then you take a piece of paper, and then you just meet and greet, like we do, but I want you to write it down. I want you to write a letter, or just a list, or whatever feels right to you. But I know writing is important to you, so I want you to write a letter of some description. It could be, just a list of what it makes you feel, but whatever comes out, just scribble it down on paper, and I want you to write it down whilst meeting this obsession in the reference of this little branch, or this little, that you got from the woods because of what I said. And I want you to write it down to really meet what is it that it gives me, because obsessions gives us something as well. There's a reason that everything is within, and also obsessions. So I feel that it's important. So I want you to meet it truly, and then your task, you still listen to energy readers, is to find your own tasks, your own measures of, moving away, and to share that with others. Not to put this as a responsibility, but you do as you feel. But I think that if you do, it would be such a beautiful podcast. Don't you think? At least a small little topic sometime, maybe. But definitely, if not for others, do it for yourself. What do you reckon? What do you think? I plan to bring a bit of spirituality, but not exactly related with tarot. Well, it's all about energy, right? This is also a type of reading, although I'm not using cards. You have to reflect, yeah. But could you try out if it feels right to you, try out the practice of, taking a reference point and an object that for you meets, this, and really write it all down, what you feel. All the beauty of it, and all the stress, all the frustration, and all the release, all the peace, all of it, and just write down what it makes you feel for there is the reason why it's there. We can start there. What do you think? Can do practice the thing you help me to realize how much I get readings. Yeah. So write down each time you get a reading and write a letter to the obsession of getting readings. And I know this is a topic that I definitely want to take further, to talk about more. It goes against, you could say, my profession, because this is what I do, but no. Also, it does not, because I am here for your well-being. And like I said before, if your well-being is to not get a reading from me, if that is the best for you, then I would not do my job if I didn't give you what my guides are telling you is important right now. And if that is silence, then so be it. It's more important for me that you feel well than me getting clients. Although I love working. So I understand why this will be a taboo topic. And I know that it is. But I feel it's something that we really have to talk about, guys. We have to do something about this. We have to take our sorry now for biting the hand that feeds me, but we have to take our responsibility, not as energy workers, but as human beings. And if we are energy workers and we say that we want to help people, then we have to see the whole picture. And some people do get addicted to having others find their path, and it's not respectful towards the person, and it's not respectful towards the reader. For usually, of course it's respectful because it is part of the journey, but it also is, you have to find your own way. And like I said, I can never say anything that you don't know yourself. And the best person to ever give you advice is yourself. It's okay to ask for different perspectives. Sometimes going with the same question to several readers can be really good, because you get different perspectives, because we're all human. But when it turns into an obsession, there's a reason for that as well. And it is a fear of yourself, and you never have to be afraid of yourself. Respectful of yourself, but to be afraid, you deserve to be you. So it's definitely something that we have to talk about. But it's a tough subject. So I think that this practice and these words, also a little kicking in the butt, with love and with joy for yourself, I think is what I want to give to you today, Big Grace. Does that feel okay as a small little check-in? That'd be okay. And as always, I send you all the love and all the joy. And I was asking if I were gonna send healing, but they said, all that I send to you. We're all connected, and it is for you to step in and trust yourself. It's tough love today, but it's so important. Okay. Thank you, my friend. Truly. I think I'm starting to be in a very good place with myself beside the situation. I can see that. And that's what we wanted to say. We see your mishaps, but we see also all of it. And we love you for it. And we love you for you being you. You can do it. A kick in the butt and a tough love, but for you. Thank you, Grace, my friend. All the love to you. Come on now, let's do this for real. I'm gonna read chat now, guys. Oh, we have Fabian here. Good morning with bubbles. Yay! Itchy cold. I'm addicted to your reading for sure. I feel almost like a body high. Uplifts me. You can stay with us due to the fact that you got ill. Oh, I'm sorry you're ill. I hope you feel better. But it's lovely that you're here. Itchy got you really. These readings are like a getaway drug without the drug part. If it can provide you peace, and we all need some peace sometimes, and to just sit down and just be us, right? And if this allows you to do that, I am so happy, and I love having you here. But what we are talking about is when we are going to the same or different energy readers without looking for an answer that we know we won't get. So when we know ourselves that, oh, I know within myself that this is my own answer to my own question, and then I go for a reader because I am scared of this, I don't want it to be, or I just know it is but I don't trust myself enough to believe in it. And so we're looking for specific answers by asking specific questions in our emotions. But what I'm talking about is when this becomes an addiction and we feel we don't trust ourselves as much as we trust others, and when we take this more less than an inspiration and more like a handbook. We can never know you, or I don't know how other works, but I can't know everything. I just want to be a fellow human being, and I love being here holding out a hand. But like I said, I'm not gonna give you the instruction manual because I don't know you the way you know you. So I work as a mirror in order for you to find yourself, to see yourself. But that means that is just a reflection. What is within you. What it is reflected is within you. And I want to be here in order for you to find that relief and peace within yourself. Not for you to ask me about how to handle yourself, but rather for me to reflect upon that beauty inside of you. Does that make any sense? It's a tough subject, I'm sorry. Well, like when I got my readings, I was more or less looking for emotional healing, yeah. And I am so happy as being here for you not to be alone, you know, just when we started out and what we got as a response, even before we opened our company, we started our company, we tried the method out. I feel the music is a little bit loud, isn't it? Sorry. We tried the method out, and the response usually was that it was so nice to meet someone and get to talk to someone who knows me or who knows you without knowing me. Or rather, it is so nice to talk to someone who knows me without knowing me. So I don't have to feel this pressure of being something, because I can just be me. And when I can provide that, it is a reflection of the beauty inside of you. And I love being here, sharing that and this world with you. But you will always be you. And no one has the right to, not even me, to say anything about it in how you are you. All I wish to give is inspiration and love and joy. I got every time and understand what you say. Thank you, that's good. Pagacrise, my friend, I noticed something. And this is what love. I noticed that you spelled my name without an H. It is how I spell my name, but I was scared of telling you. Wait, it didn't matter. I just realized that you did it without an H this time. Sarah, I've been noticing when it's not the right time to get a reading, I feel uncomfortable about having it. Feeling the need to have one, but feeling comfortable about doing it. Yes. So your own intuition, follow it. And if you listen to that feeling of being uncomfortable, you might hear also when you feel really good, because you might not listen to that because you're afraid of being uncomfortable, you know, in a different setting. Soul, take a place. Hi. You need some healing vibes? I would love to send you healing, Soul Taker. Oh, there's tough decisions to be made. It feels like tough, and grieving at the same time. I would love to send you some healing, if I may. I would love to send you a projective, focused healing, but without the reading, but the projective focused healing. Would that be okay? Oh, I am fine. Actually, like when I got my last ring, I even pointed out you understood where I was coming from, whereas my ex-friend of 5 years didn't. It's because I shouldn't say it's because I'm so happy that you can feel safe, and I intend to work as a mirror, so that is probably why. And it means I've done my job right. So when people start having feelings for me, or feeling, whatever feelings, when feelings come up towards me, of course it can be that I do something as in another human being, but in my profession it's usually is because of the mirroring fact. So those feelings that you get all over me, you actually get from within yourselves. I think that is how my work is done. And I can't know, of course, but that's how I experience it to be working. I have people say to me that you must be my soulmate, or my twin flame, or these things. And it is so beautiful to hear that from someone who comes to me and are so insecure of themselves, and say to me outright and in their energy that they don't believe in themselves, and then they say to me that I must be their soulmate. That brings me so much joy, because that means that they see themselves truly, that they really, if this mirroring effect works, that means that they love themselves, and that brings me so much joy. Imagine how much can be underneath all the layers of everything, right? It's so beautiful. That's because you understand them better than they understand themselves at that time. I understand parts of them that they can't see at the time, I think. Oh, I'm gonna check the little queue. Frederick, are you here now? I'm just gonna see if you've turned up, Frederick. Maybe this can be a good way of doing it, of having healing and energy readings the first part of the stream and then crafting the second part. Because I want to start a little teddy bear as well, as this with this as a reference point. I want to create a glass bead teddy bear with blue socks and a pair of mittens. But I do not know the proportions or anything, but I want to do it. Going once, twice, no Frederick. Okay. So, well then, we have my friend. Soul take a place. Soul taker, I would definitely want to work with a projective healing for you today. And just a calm healing. If that is okay. Hope your friends Husky and Goat are here too. I saw them. I think they're here. Are you here still, my friends? I would like to put our energy into this healing room. You and I, Soul Taker. And just, oh, I can feel it already starting, already building. And I want us to just breathe. And I'm gonna work with angels. I'm gonna work with my new little wand. And I just want to create this whirlwind, this peaceful breeze, but still a little whirlwind of just calmness today. And a little bit of sparkle of joy, of course. But this is what I want to do with you today. Does that feel okay? It's okay, you delayed on my mouth. That is completely fine. Okay. So I just Soul Taker. There you are, my friend. I can already feel the energy building. It can feel as a slight breeze. Yeah, definitely a breeze today. Here it is. Oh, I hardly needed to connect to you. Okay. I'm gonna turn up the volume of the music. And I'm gonna work with you throughout at least one track of a song. So this one out and then the next one, and just sit and just breathe. Okay. And I'm gonna work with angels and I'm gonna work with your guides to just provide peace for you. Okay. Here we go. This song is called Wings to Fly. Okay. I'm coming to you, my friend. Here we are. Soul Taker, I can feel that you are, that there's loads going on around you, and just know that this process will work also processing in behind the scenes, so to speak. So don't worry, my friend. There should be a little breeze. I will continue for a little while. So I'm putting the music up again because I want to work with you for a little while. Just breathe, my friend. It's okay. Let the emotion come. And if you can't, trust us that we take care of it and all will be well. Here it is. The breeze. Ready? Letting the whirlwind go around you, and I'm gonna work with your head now. Over your head with all those external thoughts coming in, all those needs of wanting to follow others and to understand why all these different people want, and just find your center, yourself, and the love for you. It is unfair that people going in these situations and try to tell you what to do or hand expectations upon you. And I just want you to know that I see you and I see what you're going through, and there's loads of emotion in this, and it's unfair that people try to meddle in it, but they also try to do the best they can in order for them to survive. So I just want to bring that beautiful love inside of you, to embrace you, to embrace yourself. And know that all will eventually be good. All is already good. You are exactly how you're supposed to be. Just open your eyes by closing them from time to time. You are beautiful. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through this. And please let me tell you that we are here for you, for who you are. I feel there's a lot of emotion that I would like to work more with you when you feel you can breathe and be in a calm surrounding where you feel calm also within yourself. I wonder Soul Taker, would it be okay if I sat down someday? I can sit down tomorrow. Would it be okay if I sat down with your energy and provided you a full distance healing tomorrow? It usually takes around half an hour to 40 minutes because there's loads that I would like to help you with. So would it feel okay if I took this and booked you in for a distance healing? You don't have to do anything with it, just know that I will be working with you. It can get quite intense because I feel I would like to provide you a proper healing. But would it be okay if I did so tomorrow? Will you feel okay with that? You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. We can definitely have a healing session also over video, but I work from home tomorrow, so what I'm thinking is that if I would like to do one tomorrow and you don't have to do anything with it, I will do it just by myself, but I will connect to your energy, and then maybe you can join us on Discord or send me an email so we have some way of contacting one another, and I can, if you'd like, I can send you a summary of what I've done, or just a small, notice of I'm starting the healing now and I'm ending now, just so you know when I'm working, because I would like to go into a proper healing and do this for you. Do you need to be here, or what do you need from me? From you, I need nothing but you to know that I am doing this in your energy. So because it can be intense, it would be really good if you can sit down in a place or lay down in a place where you feel safe and where you feel comfortable, but you don't have to. It's also really good if you drink a lot of water afterwards, but I would like a mean of reaching you to tell you when I start and when I finish, but we can of course set a set time also now, here and now. You joined the Discord? Beautiful. Then I will let you know further after the stream. Okay? Beautiful. You can let me know I can lay down at work. Okay? I'm sending to this. I have a coach at my work in my office. Okay? Okay? I'm just gonna check, because I can send you the details or just the time on Discord then, when I work tomorrow. I feel I want to do this either 10:30 GMT +1 CET, or in the afternoon for me at 1. I'll see if you joined on Discord, my friend. I'll see. Hang on, I'm just gonna check. Yeah, you joined. You joined. And people are already saying hi to you. So I will get in contact with you via Discord, and I will set a time today after stream where I will work with you tomorrow. Does that sound good? Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what you said. Okay. Beautiful. So we can find a time that suits both of us. I'm gonna write down. What time is it for you right now? Where you are? Where is my little calendar? Hang on. I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna put it down now, actually. Where's my little calendar? There it is. Okay, so maybe we'll find a time that is suitable for you then. So maybe it will be late on. Or I could also do it, I don't know, I never done it while someone been asleep, but it depends on what works for you. We can do it maybe in the morning for me, so just before you head off to sleep. That can work for me too. But we can maybe talk about it on Discord. Oh no, Itchy, someone's taking your time zone? No. I contact you on Discord, my friend, and we'll see how we do. And you can answer me when you wake up in the morning. And we can find a time that is suitable for both of us. Not on my watch, no. So I will contact you, Soltix. And should it be that because of our different time zones, that it would be difficult for us, then we'll find another space, of course. But I would love to perform a healing for you with you and I, or in a meeting with video, or just in the astral realm, so to speak. And I really feel like doing one of those for you tomorrow. I'm gonna ask my guides if I can do it maybe also when you're asleep, because you might not have to know about it. I will ask how they feel, or it could be a beautiful way for you to fall asleep, maybe. Perfect. For you to fall asleep would be beautiful, wouldn't it? I think that would be beautiful. But thank you so much for letting me give you some peace and tranquility also today. Your father time, Ichi. Yeah. I'm sorry for shaking the camera, by the way. Okay. Thank you so much, I'll take it. But I'll text you on Discord. Okay. So, shall we try some crafting, guys? Shall we see where we get? Yes, your decision. Tell us, my friend. Oh, where did I put the water? Oh, it's here. Oh, the Discord. Hang on. I'm just putting this back. Oh. Hang on then. Hang on. I think I know what this is. Where in Discord did you post it? Where in Discord did you post it, my friend? There it is. Oh, adorable. 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 Oh, it's perfect. Just when we're gonna make a teddy bear, right? Adorable. It's already had a little bit of a tough start now. Are you waiting for the... We already had a little bit of a tough start. Can I talk about it on stream, my friend? Is it okay? Maybe I showed my phone already on stream. I'm sorry if I did. Well, is it okay for me to talk about it? Itchy? Okay. So a little puppy. A little pup. But it feels like I already had a tough beginning. A tough start. Late at the birth, I feel. Maybe. It just feels very from the rest of the... Feels like it's been a little bit... Not with the other puppies. It feels like it's been a little bit, you know, not in a bad way, but it feels it's been a little bit, it's been a little bit of a special case among the puppies. It's absolutely beautiful. We had a kitten, or we have a kitten still. It's not a kitten now. He's 6 years of age, but when he was a kitten, he would just run off from the rest of the litter and just, you know, not spend time with them, and he wanted to move into being with us, you know. And I just get the same feeling with your puppy, but it feels a bit more, a little bit shy, a little bit holed up. So was he late at birth? The first, okay. Because it felt like he was a little bit, felt like it was a late birth. And it feels like he was sat alone a lot, away from the rest. But he's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can just see him sit, you know, as they can do sometimes with, you know, they sit almost like us, but it's so cute when I see with the, you know, with the back paws straight, I can't talk now, but, you know, straight forward, and then the little tummy, blah. But he's a little bit of a shy guy, isn't he? He's a tank. Oh, hungry little shit, you posted. I'm not sure if I should accept shit, because then we could have a spamming going on in chat, maybe when Ratchet comes in, right? But he said hungry little shit. And Streamlab said, no, you can't have. But he feels shy. He feels more shy. And like he wants to pull his paws, you know, underneath him, as they sometimes do, but it feels like, oh, he just turns into a little loaf of bread. He's beautiful. Congratulations to your little family. So cute. So cute. You can really help one another. Yeah. He can help Daddy see it's fine to be a little bit shy. Sometimes. You don't have to express yourself all the time. It's fine. And then when you both want something, you know, he's really good at... You're very similar in many ways. I think you can really help one another. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy for you. When you brought him, he ran to the corner and balled up. Yeah. Okay, so that's probably what I saw then. But he runs around now. Yeah. You can really help one another. So beautiful. Pega cries, I'm not a fan of buying animals because I don't think animals should be used as a product, which can be bought, and especially with people who create certain breeds for commercial interests. I agree. I definitely agree. But it's a tough discussion. Most of our family members have come to us in different manners, and I am not for buying individuals either. I grew up in a family where we had, what's it called? When we had cats who grew up to be in these different championships. I'm gonna check what it's actually called in English, because I can't think of it now. But they are in different championships in just to show off, or for the owner to show them off. And for this, they've been bred to look in a certain way. And I grew up with this for a couple of years. I lived in this family. And they loved what they did. But I have nothing to say against it, but I'm not for it, that I can say. It's just called Cat Show, apparently. So yeah, they were bred to be in cat shows. And on the wall we had all these different diplomas, you know, and things that we had won, or the cats had won. And they grew up to be in this. And the thing is, everyone is an individual. We are a type of animal, and all animals are individuals. And some might appreciate this way of living, and others may not. So when it comes to buying animals, we have to think about, we have to see from the individual's perspective, and from the perspective of the relationship. Because many of our, or almost everyone of our family, had come to us without us buying them. So in different ways. But then we felt there was this little cat who just wanted to come live with us, and who it was destined to. It felt like our energies just came together, you know. We really felt like we had to go get this little boy. And we wonder, where is he? where is he at? And he was in a cat shelter, it turned out. And so in order to get him from there, we had to pay a sum, so we had to buy him. And that was the first of our family members, where we have bought an individual. And it feels wrong, yes. But we have to see it from the perspective of the relationship. And if they come to a family in where they're loved, because they are born, right? And if they come to a family where they're loved and who respects them and they can respect themselves with peace and tranquility, enjoy your bubbles, then does it really matter how we come to be there? Does the money change anything in the relationship? I can see it in different ways. It can make people want to use them as products and misuse them and have them be objects instead of individuals. Yes, that is horrific. I can also see that the amount of money you have to spend makes it so that you will be more respectful, and that people who really want, to give, to really take care of someone, to know the responsibilities. But it's a difficult topic. It truly is. But I think it comes down to relationships every time. And all relationships are unique, right? But I am definitely against breeding individuals, putting new individuals into the world just in order for them to look in a certain way or act in a certain way. But when they are born, we have to respect them for who they are and give them, or have them have their lives. And if that means that we can be there with them, that is beautiful, right? I'm gonna read chat now. It's not a product, he's my baby boy. I'm not referring to your dog, Ichi, but in general. Why buying a dog or cat when you can adopt them from shelters or a kennel club and give them a home? That's what I want to do when I have my own home. Go into a shelter, adopt a dog or a cat. And rescue my 3-legged Dane, yeah. It makes me sad seeing animals in pet shops. Yeah, it does for me too. But when they are here, when they are born, they have their lives. And isn't it wonderful if we can be a part of it? But yeah, it is a tough project. Topic, I was gonna say. I have a message, that's why I read wrong, I'm sorry. Oh, Bumpus is working on the queuing system. Things is happening. Yeah. Shall we see if we can do some crafting today? I'm just gonna check the queue. Alright. Oh, he's working on. He's working and working. It looks really cool. What he's doing. So for you who weren't here before, I got this wand, this little branch, and I've never used a wand in my healing before, but I did yesterday. And boy, was it wonderful. It was so beautiful. And also, guys, my friends, I've got a proper massage bench now. Like, I got to borrow it from a client, actually. I'm a little bit scared of hurting it. I'm just gonna check. Are you okay, guys? Itchy, have you left? It's a difficult topic, but we should feel free to to express ourselves, you know. But yeah, I truly believe that whoever we come in contact with in our lives, we should appreciate that we have contact with it and that we can share life with them. And so I think it's just beautiful, you know. Oh, I don't think it is. I leave because of you, Bear Christ, don't worry. You can always write him in Discord if you feel scared, or if you want to say him something. Okay, shall we start a little project, guys? What do you think? Hang on, are you ready? Boom, that's our art reference! Okay, I want to give this little teddy bear, I'll put him here where I can see him. And all I know is that I want to give him blue socks and a pair of mittens. You can see in Discord if it's okay. Pega Grace. I hope he is. He's a beautiful person, and so are you. We all have our different opinions, and I don't think because of you buying the act of buying an individual or paying for it does not have to mean that you don't respect the individual. Although I do wish for a world where we could be free in our relationship. In the way I mean that we can just choose to live our lives together, but as different species, but as individuals. Most of our family comes from rescues, different sorts. Hey, I'm taking the first beat. Are you ready? The very first beat. I'm talking in general about most people who do it, yeah. They don't believe any life has a price, no matter what life it is. No, I agree. I agree. But it is also, it's a way for them to meet in this case, because of society and because of other aspects. Doesn't have to change the relationship. I just think it's beautiful that we get to spend our lives with different individuals. That's what I'm thinking. And in this case, I really think that they can help one another. Oh? Oh no! The first beat got lost. He wanted to be a light one instead. The first one is always tough, you know? The first one is always a little bit tricky. But I don't judge someone who does that, sometimes buying the animals, saving them from the place they were held captive. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, we should look at the relationship in whole and not just how the relationship came to be. It's part of it, but I think we should look at it in a whole, and we should agree and we should enjoy what it is. And if both parties feel alright, then that is simply beautiful. if they can provide, as in this case, where they can really help one another, I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's so interesting how we come to meet individuals who are so similar to us but different, you know? It really shows how we... Oh, green I think is a little bit too far off from blue. White can definitely do, but green I think is a little bit too far off, maybe. I can't remember what I was saying. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think it's... What's this? Purple? It's also a little bit far off. We can save all these beautiful colors to other parts of the teddy. Of the teddy. Green really wants to go in there. It's being very it's not wanna settle. It's excited, maybe. The thread is as excited as I am to start this little project. And it's gonna take ages. But I hope that you will enjoy the slow build of this beautiful little teddy bear. I have no idea, I don't know the proportions as of yet. And all I really know is that I want him to have blue socks and a pair of mittens. But apart from that, I would love some suggestions. So I have no idea what will happen. And I'll just let the beads speak. The beads sing, right? I don't think he felt judged in that way by a Christ. But I do think that it was maybe a little bit of a tough subject because it took some strength for him to decide to go and meet this little fella and to feel worthy of sharing life with him. But I think it's okay. But you can check on Discord, like I said. No, I understand. By grace, it's okay. But maybe say your intention to him, and maybe apologize if that feels better. You know? It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay. Hi, you beautiful people joining. How are you today? If that makes you feel better, per Christ, I think it's a brilliant way to do it. Sometimes there's misunderstandings happening, and that's okay. As long as we can see what has happened and that we can see ourselves in it. And how was it now? We meet it, we greet it, we thank it, and we let it go. Right? I did a dangerous thing today in traffic this morning, and every time something happens, I really put it on my sleeve, you know. I really feel like, ooh. And then I called Bempus first thing when I got into the office, and I said to him, oh, I just want to talk about what I did. I want to tell you so that I don't have to keep the secret or the paranoia of having done something so stupid and so awful. And I was so lucky that it turned out okay. And I was so lucky, and I know that with my experience, because of this, I know that I will never have it happen again because it was due to my decision. decision making. No one got hurt and all is well, but I really felt bad. And so I called Bempus and I told them exactly what happened, even though it hurt within me because I didn't want to have to tell him. It felt so much better when having done it, you know, because he just said, oh yeah, I done similar things, I know it hurts, but it's okay, and we learn from the experience, and we were lucky this time. And then I could just, okay, now I can breathe and go on with my life, you know, with my day. And I take the experience. I thank that nothing happened, other than me maybe due to my actions scaring someone or scaring myself. I definitely did, but all is well, and so I can just go on, you know, and never putting myself in that situation again. And in having talked about it, I now have respect for it rather than being scared of doing it again. So I meet it, I greet it, I thank it, and then after this stream, hopefully, because I'm talking about it now, but we let it go, right? I don't feel bad about the situation, but just want to make sure he didn't misunderstand what I was trying to say. Yeah. I'm thinking, how are we gonna do this? I think we'll do it in rows. We'll see what happens. This is interesting. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. And it's gonna be a long, long process. But if you're willing to follow along and see this little teddy bear form, then I would really enjoy it. And then we'll have, of course, energy readings and healing. All those comes first. And then when we don't have any energy readings to do, or any healing, any transferences, then I want to commit to this little fella and see him. Ooh, see him become him. I'm not hoping for confirmation on what I'm doing to say now, but I really believe the universe, my guides, they've been pulling me out of getting readings. Yeah. Believe yourself. Especially with a hurtful situation that happened some days ago. It feels like you're really getting perspective now in talking to others. I want to make this a little bit, and I feel like that perspective pulls you away somewhat from it, and I think that is healthy. I can't talk about health, of course. It's non-medical what I do, but I really feel it being beneficial for you. I want to make this a little bit misshapen, and then I want, with 2 more pearls, I want to make this the sole of the sock, because I want him to sit, maybe, we'll see, but I want him to sit like this teddy does, because they usually do when I look at pictures. So I want to create this part, the little sole of the sock, because I want him to be wearing socks into this little ring, into that I'm creating. I really think that, guys, that doing the exercise of writing to your obsession would help you in many different areas and aspects of life, of being you. I truly believe that. Oh no, that was blue. Was it too tight of a fit? Yeah, okay. But is there anything that you would like to talk to me about. But I truly feel like this is something that it is part of your journey of starting to trust in yourself. I believe so. I think so. Situation was getting banned from the stream of what person, which had readings and did their Akashic echoes in the past, and felt really mad at it because she did it with no reason. That was probably why I was thinking about Kalina, because energy readers are, or she represents that for me. So that's probably why. Maybe I think this also is definitely part of this, and I think this is what you're talking about, your guides urging you in another direction by having you being banned from the server, because I think it is a good thing for you to think of it in that way and to just meet it, greet it, thank it, and let it go, right? It wasn't Kalina. No, I don't think it was. But she represents, it doesn't matter who it was, but she represents that energy readers for me. And that was why I saw her. Because I felt it was probably not her, but an energy reader. So it makes sense now for what happened. Definitely. I left the Discord because I never felt welcomed or understood in the community, and always that desperation to connect with people, and I would get ignored by people in there. I'm sorry that you felt that way. You've been very kind with me in letting me take my time to answer sometimes, and we had this situation. I had the situation with a friend of mine who we met by him coming to me for energy readings, and then we became friends. And we were gonna do all different projects together. And the thing is, I might seem like a people person, and I definitely am, because I love doing what I do, and I love working, and I love being here, lending a hand to people. But I am also, as I've painstakingly had to admit, I am also an introvert. And so I do need some space for myself sometimes, as we all do. No matter if we're extroverts or introverts or ambiverts, or if those titles even exist. But I do need some space for myself. And I had someone who, because of me not answering for a couple of days, because I was ill and I had other clients, and also I just needed space for myself because life happens also for me. They disconnected from everything, and that puts a stress on me. People who join these communities usually, or we're all individuals and we join for different reasons, but many people who join do so in order to find a space where they can be themselves, because they feel they have none or have a limited resource of such outside of here, outside of the internet, or even on the internet. And so many people in this community might just want to be there in energy, might just want to be there in a way for them just to be them, and not having to stress to get in contact and be extroverted in that way, or sociable even, or to just be them. And I understand that can be hurtful sometimes, but it is also, we have to see it from their perspectives. And it's the same with us energy readers. We love doing our work, but we also need our free time. So it is a tough situation, and it is a situation that I've been in with family members before, where if I didn't, if I didn't talk to them as often as they wanted, then our relationship would shift. For they wouldn't see it from both perspectives. They would just see it from their perspectives of needing me to give them, to accept them. And how I accepted them, I did in a way that they accepted others. But so it's not, they thought that because they saw it only from their perspective, accepting someone would be to always be there. But in physical form. But how I respect someone is to be there always in emotional form. But I still need some space for myself. And this has been a tough thing for me to acknowledge. When I met Jonathan Bempers, my fiance, I was certain I was extroverted. And not talking about if these exist or not, introverted and extroverted and ambiverted, but the feeling of wanting to be around people, of getting energy by being around people, I was certain I was. I was studying to become an actress, and I really enjoyed being around people and do also what I do now, but not in a professional setting, or not as a company, but just as me. So being around people was something that I did all the time. And so when I met him, we could sit and talk, and I could fall asleep in mid-sentence because I was so exhausted. I was very ill, and I had no one to really believe that I was ill or that I didn't feel the way I was feeling. And so I lived in this state of trying to be something I was not. That included being around people in a very, I want to say ferocious, I don't know why that name, but that word came up, but in a very prompt way. I wanted to be around people and be someone I was not, and that made me exhausted. So when I could relax, when I met Bempers and I could relax with him, I could just fall asleep in mid-sentence. And then I came to realize that I'm not extroverted in such a sense that I get energy from spending time with people. I get energy from working. It's the best thing I do, but it also drains me. So I do need some time to recharge so I can do my work. And some people find that as me being disrespectful. And I can imagine there being many me's out there saying that they will be there always, or being very friendly and very talkative, and then all of a sudden there's just silence. And so I can understand how that could feel as being disrespectful. But I can also see that many people don't do it with the intention of being disrespectful. And the best way to know is to be transparent and to ask. Is how I feel. Ambivert, yeah, I know. Ambivert is where you start off by getting energy from being around people, and then after a while it starts to drain you, right? It's interesting to talk about these different things because I think all of us so different and so similar at the same time. I'm thinking of maybe doing it like this. My fingers are so big. This is such a small project as of now. But to do it, in a spiral, and to have that be the soul of the sock, I think. A soul. Not that kind of soul. So I'm just gonna secure it into a spiral, I think. So I'm gonna do it with this one. Sorry, I have to see what I'm doing. You're gonna post something on Discord about this? Yeah, do. I'd love to read, to see what you got to share, my friend. Ooh. Oh dear. I have to have the inner circle also being part of it, of course. Where did it go? There it is. And then there. So we have to secure. I know you can't see a thing of what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to secure this into a circle or a spiral. So I'm just gonna try to do that without having my finger, without stitching it to my finger, as I did. Oh, there we are. And then I have to meet it with the little. I think we'll go here. Hang on, guys. What? We could go here, and then we'll secure it with this pearl? Question mark? What? Okay. I've never done this before, so I'm trying to make it work. We'll see if it does. And then I'll go in and I pick up the very first bead on the string or on the thread. Am I gonna pull it through? No. I'm gonna take what is the thread that is surrounding the little bead. Let's see if I can find it. Hang on, guys. I really have to see what I'm doing. There it is. And we'll take that one and secure it into that one. And then we'll make a little knot on the thread and we'll see what we have. You ready? Little knot. Boop. And we got not a circle, but it is workable, right? It is workable. So this is, well, where is the camera? The camera is angled in such a way it's so difficult to find. We got that little thing. So it's a start. I'm thinking it's a start. Post on how to art. It's really cool how I can speak with you about every subject without any problem. Yeah, I have. It's everything is under the sky, right? Everything is part of our life. And so I think taboos and misunderstandings, or the thing is, I talked about this before, that taboos must be here also that for a reason. And I wonder what that reason is. You know, it's really interesting to talk about. I feel. Oh, it's interesting. Let's see what will happen. This curls up, so maybe instead of being the sole, maybe it will be the toe. We'll see. I'm gonna knot it, do one more knot to secure it proper. It almost looks like a little toe, maybe. No, I think we're gonna add beads on this side to create a little, but it curls up real good though. This almost looks like a mouth with a tongue. Let's see if I can show it to you. Oh. Will it focus? There. Can you see? Can you tell? Trying to have it focus again. I'm not good at this. Oh, there. Boy, I gotta learn this technique. I don't even know where I have the camera because it's so weirdly angled. There it is. Okay. Can you tell? I hold it like that. Oh dear. I'm not good at this. Can I show it in the other camera perhaps? Hang on. Let's do it like this. Can I show it in this camera? Oh. No. Well, I'm using Logitech and Razer, so 2 different cameras. This is the Razer one. Oh, I can't. Can you see? Can you tell? A little bit, at least. Maybe you can tell somewhat. A little bit. So I wonder if that is better to do as a toe. But the shape will probably change as we add more layers to it. But I think this was really cool, you know? I think. On my teenage years, that was a fashion, doing bracelets with that. Bracelet and necklace, yeah. Yeah, we did small figurines, tiny figurines, when I was in preschool. But I'm thinking how we can turn this into the little sock. You know what it can be? It can actually be where it meet up with the leg. I think I will just add some beads and it will probably change shape, I believe. Oh, Harry, hi! Welcome back. I think you've been here before, have you not? I think you joined on Thursday, no? I think. I think I'm just gonna add beads and see where it goes. See what happens, right? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add to it and we'll see what happens. I was thinking I was gonna do a structure first and just do the outer layer of the teddy bear and then either having it being secure that way and being able to uphold itself, or put some material inside like paper or so. But it looks like, as always with me and my crafts, it looks like this will be solid. So it will take some more time and it will take more beads, but it could be really cute. So I'm gonna add some more beads and we'll see how the shape looks, and then I will start to shape it and start to sculpture it after what it looks like most. But it is, the intention is to have it be 1 foot and so the sock on 1 foot, of course. And I think it could be really cool. I would love to color coordinate it so that the sole is darker than the rest of the sock, but with my knowledge in beading as of now, as of yet, I think just having it be we'll have to do, and then we will definitely learn, hopefully, if we continue with this. And we will learn some more. So yeah, I'm just gonna basically, because it looks like it's gonna be beads all the way through, it looks like it's gonna be solid, so I'm just gonna add blue beads and then for a little while, and then see in what direction we take it. But a sock it will become eventually. Just how the sock will look, we'll have to see. but I'm just gonna add to it and we'll see what happens. And then I'm gonna start sculpting here. If you feel like I'm going a little bit Australian with my accent, by the way, I don't know where it comes from, but I've been watching videos with Jasa, and he's got a little bit of that going on, so that could be where it comes from when I start. Also, the system has they're joking around a lot with different accents, and the Aussie accent is very popular for them. So it's not intentional, it just comes out sometimes. And I've always been told that my natural accent is somewhere between being Australian and British. So I have no idea. Maybe I just lean one direction then, right? Maybe. It was so beautiful. You know, Peggy Grace, are you still here, my friend? Did you hear my story about how I actually went and watched a tarot reading, a general one on YouTube? There was a video come up and I just felt drawn to it, you know, not like I was searching for a specific answer, but I was drawn to this video because I felt it had a message for me. And depending on how that goes, of course, the intention of watching the video and why we feel like we have to watch it, because of what we talked about, I mean. But I felt this being, you know, it was something in it that I had to hear. And they said that it was a general reading, and they said that it would be beneficial for the people choosing this card or this deck of cards. It will be beneficial for you to start using a wand in your work. I'm just adding to this now. It's a little blue pile at the moment, but this means we will be able to shape it soon enough. It will be solid. It will be a solid teddy bear. It will take many beads, but it will be fine. And we will learn in the process, right? And so they said it would be beneficial for you to use a wand in your work. And so it was raining and it was nighttime, but I went out and I picked up this little one. And I brought it to the office yesterday and I performed a healing session with it. And it was in a way I've never done before, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I've been working with this client for some time, and so we know each other quite well. And I would, after the healing, I just said, this was a really good one, this was a really good session. You really feel calm now, don't you? You know, I really got this feeling, this emotion. He said, this was really good. And then he went home and he picked up his massage bench that he had at home, because he once studied to become a massage therapist himself. And he picked it up and it's there now. It's a proper massage bench. So I thought, with such beautiful healing and coming this far, I think he felt I needed some proper tools. So he got me the bench. Oh, I'm so scared. I have a client coming on Friday and it will be the first time I use the bench and I'm scared. But it will be beautiful. Are people in Sweden open to energy healing? It depends. But my first reaction to your question was to say no, not very. But there is definitely some people who are, yes. But I've been told other energy workers that I talk to, especially my fiance's mother, she believes that we will be doing more business in United States than in Sweden. And probably for the reason that we're not this open in Sweden. No. Some people are, definitely, and there are many of us in Sweden working with what I work with. And there's loads of healing therapists and healers and, all sorts of energy workers, definitely. But the main reaction that you expect when you talk to someone, or when I talk to someone in Sweden, is to them to be skeptical. But it all differs. We're all individuals. But I want to say that no, not so much. That they're open. But it all differs, This is a blob now, a proper solid blob. Which is beautiful because then we can shape it. But I think you will need some more pearls, because I'm thinking I will challenge myself and do something bigger this time. So I will challenge myself to do this foot quite large and then shape it as we go. We'll see what happens. But it will be beautiful, I'm sure. But some people definitely are, yeah. And I think that it is becoming more and more popular. But it is a very tough, and I'm sure many professionals say so about where they work and in what they work with, so to speak. But it is a very tough industry indeed. I was looking for the word industry, that's why I took the longer way around. Do you meet many people who are open to energy healing outside of Twitch, Grace? How does it look for you? Not really, no. But I think people are more open than they let on. And I mean, what it is just life, But it is tough, and especially I feel I'm a little bit hesitant, because where I stand, like I said, I can see what this looks like now. That's not intentional. It looks a little bit like a penis, or it looks like a robot, or a turtle, or someone flipping you off. It will be many different shapes until the last one, right? And it might be many different shapes in it as well. But it will not be very color coordinated. I will work on that as I learn the craft. But yeah, so the thing is, when I talk to people who work with energy, and when I talk to people who does not work with energy and are very skeptical, they both are a little bit skeptical, because I am in the middle. I believe, like I said, I am ready to believe that I'm working with angels, and that there is this universal library, and that they work as their parents, and that we all stem from the same energy source, and that they are external beings helping us. But I'm as open to that as I am it being my own illusions, in a way, for my brain to handle things the way so I can feel good, a survival mechanism. I'm not saying that it would be for everyone who works with energy and it's just hallucinations. No, that's not what I'm saying. It can be logic, it is logical, but it could be logical in a psychological way, as well as spiritual. And you know me, there's no difference between the two. Whatever it is, it's still our experience as being what it is. So whether we experience being spiritual or whether we experience being scientific, it is still the same, no matter what we call it. But I would definitely want to do research into it because I find it very fascinating. But I'm open to anything. It could be electricity, it could be radio waves, it could be angels, it could be gods or a god, or it could be all of those, and it could be hallucinations in illusions, which still just reflects the reality because it still works. It could be all of those things. It could be that our brains register so much more than what we acknowledge it to register. And so then how I read someone could be in a way that I recognize certain topics or habits or feelings of this individual, and therefore put together in my head how it would probably be working and how this person would probably be experiencing different things. Or it could be that we all are connected and that it is the librarians who bring forth information. I'm as open to both. Why I talk about my librarians and my guides and why I talk about these things, because that's how I experience it to be. And I love it to be that way. It's how I experience it to be. But what it truly is, I'm open to learning. Because all I want to do is to be able to give something and to be here for someone else, because that is how I'm here for myself. That's just how I work. And so I'm just privileged, no matter how it works, I'm just privileged being able to do the work because it seems to be working. But I would love to conduct studies. I would love to bring this out from the shadows and just say, you know what, no matter what it is, and it's part of us, and it's as natural as anything else. Like I said before, if it is a gift from God, then it is as much as a gift as the rest of the life. I want to bring this out from Bembis, and I started this company wanting to bring it out from being, something that just some people can do, because it's not. I don't believe it is, at least. I think it's something that we all have the ability to do. And so we want to bring it out of the shadows and see it as the profession that it is. And in that, of course, also conduct studies. I would love that, to see what can it actually be. But what it is doesn't really matter as long as it seems to be helping, as long as it seems to be helpful. And should it start to be harmful, then we have to reevaluate, of course. But yeah, I have no idea what it is. And I'm as interested as being psychic as I am as being, interested in science. In this, I want to bring it all together because it's just us. That's how I feel. You can manifest that. Yeah, I want to do. I really do. This little blob is coming along. All different sort of shapes now. I wanted it to be color coordinated. Yeah. We'll see. Oh, I never do that. I started doing that last week and I can't stop now. I don't know what has happened to me. Let's see. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? We could put... I want to show you this. I would love if it could show up in camera. Oh, look. Oh, this camera is so angled. I'm sorry. There, can you see it now? can we have it be? You can see the dark patch at least. I thought I was gonna add to that, going upwards, and make that the sole of the sock. It doesn't wanna. I don't know how I'm gonna show this to you in a better way. But I'm gonna add to it, I'm thinking. Up here. And have that be the sole of the sock. I think so. I think I will do that. I will have to get something that I can hold it up with, that doesn't take the camera's focus. But I would love to discuss this, my friends, because all we are, everyone, we're just individuals, we're humans. We live underneath the same sky, so why not discuss what is part of our lives, right? No matter what it is. I think it's so important. I said I wanted to add with dark colors and I pick up a light blue. That's just me, right? That's just how I am. Oh dear. This afternoon I'm gonna clean out the office and try to, because I have so much stuff in here and I want it to feel cozy. And I love this bench, but I do have to readjust somewhat the room somewhat in order to fit it, because it is bigger than my little couchy thing that I had. So I have to readjust. But it is beautiful. Can I show you the bench? You wanna see, guys? Can I show you? You wanna come with? Oh, I can't do much, but look! Look at it! It's a proper bench! You can't see much, but so you see it's all empty here now. It's all empty here, so I have to put stuff in and get rid of other things. Yeah, but it's beautiful. What? It is. Does it look okay, you reckon? It's very, very empty, so I will work on that. But I don't know if you remember how it looked before, but it's going to be really interesting to use that bench, because it was so low down before, and now it's really, you get closer to the client. Because I was discussing this when he asked me if I wanted to borrow the bench, and he asked me, and I just felt, I want this cozy, warm feeling in my office. And I was a little bit uncertain how I would be able to obtain that, or to keep that with the bench. It's perfect, but those things, they're not very attractive, unfortunately, because they're easy to keep clean, right? They're an easy and very good tool, and perfect, when you're on the run, I want to say. When you're out and about, and also here in the office, because it is really cool. I'm so excited to have it, but I don't know how to make the office cozy, to have this living room feeling again, because that is what I want to achieve. I want people not to feel like they come home to me, but rather that they're in a space where they feel comfortable and can just breathe, and gives a little spark of joy. And so I'm gonna work on that this afternoon. I picked up another light blue, guys. What am I doing? Next one would definitely have to be blue. Oh, they are blue, but dark blue. But I think we needed this little bead in order for our support, so that could be a really good thing. Oh, by the way, I said before that I have a client coming here to use the bench for the first time on Friday. This means there will be no stream on Friday either. Fridays are, it looks like, it will be that I stream if I have no clients. Tuesday and Thursdays are for streaming, but Friday seems to be if I have a client that will come first, so to speak. But we'll see. Bempers also have this thought of maybe me just sitting and play video games on Fridays with you guys, or doing something entirely different. I have a hard time playing video games. It gets my brain all mushed up. We'll see. I want to do Twitch things as well. That would be wonderful. But if we do that, we will have to do it quite late because I'm in a business complex. So we'll see. I'm trying to pick a dark blue now. So I'm thinking of going up here. You know what, I'm gonna add this bead where it is, and then I'm gonna move the cursor, I almost said, the little needle. Gonna move the cursor. I'm gonna move the little needle up somewhat to have it go up here to create the soul, I think. So let's move the little needle up. You can always invite your neighbors come and sing with you. Oh, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I would love that. That's actually a really good idea. I wonder how many would show up on a Friday, nevertheless. Oh, that would be wonderful. I have all the tech people. It's mostly computers here, and tech in the building, and also in this is the science park, it's called. And it is a kind of science that we do, but it's not been accepted as a science. So it's quite interesting when you go in different events here in the surrounding area, and they ask you, oh, so what do you do? And I say, well, I'm a medium. And usually it depends on what they hear, because sometimes they go, oh right, yeah, and then they come back later and say, sorry, what did you say that you were doing? And then sometimes it's, oh, in what media, you know? I usually say that, yeah, me and Bumpus, we work with different types of IT, informative or information technology, right? So yeah, it's quite funny to see people's reactions. There's actually a medium in the science park. It's quite interesting. But we do have a psychologist who has an office somewhere around here, and he met us. I think I talked about this. He met us at an event and was he thought we were potentially could do harm with what we do. So he wanted to conduct a study, and if he does, oh, I would love him to, you know? This is the thing, I just know it works. I just wanna try how it works, you know? I just know it seems to be working, and so, why should I try to prove it other than try to meet it and see what can it be, you know? What is it? Oh, sorry, you can't see. What is it actually, you know? There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I think some dark here. I know you can't see a thing. Some dark here, I think. I wish there was an easier way for me to. Ah! It's angled! I wish there was an easy way for me to show you what I'm doing. But as the teddy bear grows, you will be able to see him. Because this will be a big project. It will take me order some more beads, I think. Sarah, have you put some thoughts in finding someone who's willing to collaborate in you with studies? Yeah, the thing is, I've joined these groups on Twitch and there is some plans for collaborations, but I'm not sure where people stand. I'm a little bit scared of offending people since I'm new, and with this, seeing it as what it is, I shouldn't be afraid, but I'm a little bit scared of biting the hand that feeds me in order, it means so much to me to be a part of something. The human side of me is really important to be a part of something, but I also feel like many people, for them it is important that this is something that only they and a few others can do, and I don't know, I never know where I stand. I'm a little bit scared. And it's just, I'm a human, and I've met obstacles in form of people being really upset with me and having me, when I was a child. And I know we can't, we move on, meet it, greet it, thank it, and let it go. I never really accepted myself to thank it and to let it go, my childhood. And that's something I'm really working on. I was put in a system and had I was living with different families. I was very privileged. I only had a few, and I was very privileged in where I ended up. And I ended up back with relatives. But I was told that if I did something wrong or upset someone, or, my biological relatives, I don't want to name names now, but told me that if I did something wrong, I would have to move and I would have to restart. Well, not restart, but I would have to move and not continue my life, as it were, where I was. And the thing is, that also happened. I was doing my best to do what I should be doing, and as I'm sure many people can resonate with as being a similar situation, it seemed like nothing I did could change it because the adults, since I was a kid, had already made up their mind. There happens so much behind the scenes, and it can become so sudden for the children, these different plans or these different situations or changes that been in plan for so long for the adults can come as complete surprises for the children, and I think it's important to think about that aspect. And so for me, what happened was that my life did get turned upside down, and I did have to move one day from another, move family one day to another, and I had to do these things, and with new rules and new, it's beautiful having so many people, having met so many people, and I have a privilege having been in so many different places in the family, so many different spots, so many different types of sibling places, spots. I've been the youngest, I've been the middle one, I've been the oldest, and I've been by myself, and that has been really a privilege for me, and to meet so many people. But it has also shaken me a bit, because I know what it feels like when someone you don't know at all who it is, and these people always, they decide for you what happens, which medication you should take and what you should do, what you can do and not do, and then also where you should live and with who you call mom and dad. And so having these things stirred up and shaken up and just moved, I've literally been told that you go home and you pack your boxes and tomorrow morning you move, and with no prior knowledge of this. And so that has shaken me a little bit. So being part of something is really important for me. Also, with me having been told that I have no empathy, that made me feel like I had to show nothing but empathy. And so being part of something is so important. And then I'm also so scared of having to leave it, that situation, that being part of something that I have to leave it, or that someone would move me from my home. Even though I'm an adult now, it's still, it's deeply rooted within me, even though I've been so privileged in what has happened to me, because it's still been, I've still had a good upbringing. But that is deeply rooted. And so I'm just scared of confronting people, even though I'm not confronting them. So I have to find myself in, thanking this experience and see, what, that's not why I'm doing this. I do this because I'm interested and I want to do something together, build bridges. But for me, talking to other energy readers about this and energy workers, I approached one who they were talking about psychics and witches, and I was jokingly saying that, we have, because on stream they had this similarity to me and this little peculiar thing, and I said, oh yeah, witches with this, and they said that they really, really didn't like being called a witch or a psychic, and because of childhood memories, and that made me feel really bad. Why I did it, I want to own these words. I call myself a witch. I've been so badly treated in school of being a witch, and I've been called this and very bullied, but I now own that word for myself. So I call myself a witch because and that's what I wanted to give also, or what I thought I could bring to this with interaction with this person. But just that, them feeling hurtful and me not realizing this before I said it, and not having my guides, tell me you shouldn't be saying this, because I should probably, there was a reason for it. But just that simple interaction with me having been, invited in to this community and invited into this environment and meeting this beautiful individual who, as me, I'm working with things that I never thought could be real, that was just in my fantasy world, and that I enjoyed having there without any responsibility, and being bullied for it, but finding my place in it, finding my spot in it. And now we work with this as it being completely real, because it is, and with that it comes responsibility. And meeting someone who does the same but in their way, and then being able to be a part of this, and then just being so scared of hurting people, is something that is so close to my heart. And so it is something that I have to work on and work with myself in order to. And I also think that it is a reason that I feel this way, and I believe when the time is right, it will happen, But I am scared. Yeah, I am human. I suppose there must be someone out there who would be interested in working with you. Yeah, I would love collabs. That's the thing. I'm just scared of being. I always tell you that you should be transparent and open and believe in yourself. There's a reason why I say that. I'm struggling with the same thing. So let's struggle together and let's make this together. Let's do it, right? Bubbles of joy. I'm talking about the Streamers Collab project. Yeah, I am. And foster homes. Yeah. That was what I was talking about. Sorry, I wasn't reading chat, my friend. Mm. I'm gonna build up here. Oh! So that is why I think it's so interesting and so important. I don't know if Fabian, if you're still here in chat, lacking. But what I feel is so important with people coming from a scientific point of view is to be able to meet the two, you know? And I love people coming from the spiritual side of you, but the spiritual, you know, way of looking at it, and to meet the two and see they're not very different at all because they're the same. You know, that's how I want to see it. And I truly believe, I talk about frequencies, and that's what I believe it is. Frequencies. And the same frequencies as electricity, as radio waves, as, you know, the whole body is electric. We work on electric impulses. Why shouldn't the universe do the very same? We're part of the universe, right? It's like when we talk about how the big scale works. I believe it works in the very same way as a small scale, because the small scale is part of the big scale, no? So why would it work any other way? I think the atoms in our cells work the very same way as the planets work in the universe. Oh no, I dropped that bead. It didn't want to go there. Where does it want to go then? Alright, in here of course. Yeah, let's put it in here instead. Okay. Because the atom is part of the universe. It's like when we try to explain how different things work, and we try to, you know, when we try to explain how the universe works by showing it, by putting it into practice in small scale. And then coming up with a theory that it should not work this way, but should work in another way than what we can show on the bigger scale. But the problem with this is that we are on the bigger scale. You know, we're showing off a little or small scale whilst being on the bigger one. So it's not, we're not looking at it from a third point perspective. We're not, or if we're looking at the planet, we're not on a different planet looking at it, but we are on the planet that we're discussing. And so being on the planet will, of course, affect what our research shows, because we're on what we discuss. No? I'm talking about how the earth works now. I'm sorry. I'm really interested into that conversation. But yeah, so I think it's difficult, you know, and it's very fascinating. So same way with energy, we can discuss how energy works, but we live in it, you know? And both scientists and spiritualists come up with the same, you know, same thought in that. We know that all is electricity, no matter, we don't know what electricity is. Per se, but we know that all is electricity, or we know what it is in what we call it electricity. But you know, we also know that dark matter is a form of electricity. Do we not? Maybe we don't. I just think everything is frequencies, guys. I'm sorry. I would like to go at that collab project and speak about the reading edition as a guest. Yeah, I think it would be important to bring it up, definitely. Hey guys, you know what? It's time for me to go have lunch. I didn't realize the time. This is just a blob as of now, but it's starting to look a little bit like a sock. see what happens to it. I want him to be sat like this, you know, with his feet. Just like this, just like this. But it will take loads of time. And we will do it when we don't do energy readings and healing. Isn't he cute? I think he's so cute. And I want to share with you what is on his hands. The 8 of Hearts. To me, this card is so important, and it is what I want to share with you. Not the card in itself, but the 8 for me is eternity, and hearts, so love. I gave this to Bente on our anniversary many years back. Isn't he cute? I know we can see him all the way, but he's also here. And guys, whatever we do, it's life. And life, let's live it while we have it, right? And even discussing how we would live it is living it, because time is passing by, no matter what time is. So let's have fun. And by fun, I mean let's do what we feel in our hearts. And let's enjoy it with others. We just live. Why not live together? And why do we have to keep separate things? Or things separate? Why can't we just talk about whatever it is to be alive? Because we are all alive. And why look for our own, why sit and struggle in our own closet if our neighbor has found a way out, or in doing the same, and we all sit and we ponder on the same things. It's beautiful because we might reach different conclusions and so have more perspectives, but how will we ever get those perspectives if we don't share them? Some people think that I'm very, talking about sexuality and masturbation and different type of sexuality and aggression and all these different things at the same time as talking about completely, just arts and crafts and fire and water and spiritual, all of it. For me, so many people are sexually frustrated. So why not know that you're not alone? It's like I had this, and I know much is down to religion as well, and of course social rules, and we should follow what makes us feel good. But I know I had a talk a long time ago. I had a dear friend who had a religion which made it so he interpreted it in a way. For him, it meant that he could not, he could not touch himself sexually. He was not allowed to. And so I said to him, okay, but hey, why don't you ask someone else, someone older? If you don't feel comfortable, but you should, but, maybe not your father, but why not? Your father or your grandfather or someone you know that has gone through the same thing. How did they manage? How did they come up on top of it? How did they feel, safe and secure? And this was something that they couldn't even talk about, even though so many people experience it. I know there are people out there who don't, but so many do. So why not talk about it? Why not share experiences? We just live under the sky. It's just life, no? So that is why I want to talk as much about paying for individuals with animals as it is in this society now, as we talked about before. Even though the human in me, I get, I feel like I have to say the right thing, because these are topics that's very close to my heart. But I love talking about that as much as saying what I do is BS. And what are we even doing? Of course we have to discuss it. Of course we have to talk about it. If we feel like it, talk about it. It's when we hide those emotions away and those thoughts and feelings that they will eventually scream. And that is what was so beautiful with the new healing that I did. In this way of, meeting those hidden emotions that we, or not hidden, but we deliberately don't want to meet, that we spit on instead of holding in hand, as I say. And just providing some, just seeing them for what they are. They're just part of you. And to be able to give that beautiful healing energy, crystal energy to them, and just give them that attention that they deserve. If we no longer fear them, and we can embrace them as part of us, we will understand where they come from, or at least get a better understanding of ourselves. No? I think it's important to talk about. But it's time for me to go eat now, and then I will work on my office and try to clear things out. And then I'll be back on Thursday. And no streaming on Friday, as I said, because of my very first client on this bench. If no one books before, of course. It'll be really, really interesting and lovely. And yeah. And if Soul Taker, if you're still here, I get back to you as soon as I can, and I will try to provide you with a proper healing tomorrow. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for being here for this wonderful, beautiful Tuesday. And have a beautiful one. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you on Thursday. Take care. All the love to you. See you. And likewise, do talk about it. If we don't fear it, I think we will be respectful in how we do it as well. But that is inside of ourselves. So to meet the relation we have to the subject, as I talked about before meeting the subject with others. If that makes any sense. Go back and watch another stream. We had a long discussion on this, but it really is important, I feel, to know where we stand in our relationship to a situation and a subject and a topic as if it was another individual. And when we know that, we can also meet it from others' perspectives. Yeah. Just be open and transparent with yourself, guys. It's just you. And you're beautiful the way you are. And if you trust your heart, your head will follow. Don't worry. Feel free to join our Discord. Come do so. It's the best way of reaching us. And if you would like a private consultation, send me an email. Or come back for a shorter one, a shorter transference here on Twitch. I love you guys. Take care now. I don't want to go. Always. Take care. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Thank you for today. I'm just gonna find the right scene. There it is. Bye. All the love to you. Bye-bye.